Hi everyone and welcome. It's really great having you here today. I'm remaking a rose soap. Now why would I be doing that so soon after I just made those dusty rose soaps a month ago? Well, because they sold out immediately. Within 2 to 3 days of me listing them, they were all gone. And so if they were popular, I guess people want them. So I decided to make some more. But these I'm doing more on a color that is more reminiscent of the state I live in, Texas. And you've probably heard of the yellow rose of Texas, either in song or movies or just the expression. And the yellow rose of Texas isn't actually a rose, but a cactus bloom. But because this mold is a rose mold, I decided I would make these yellow roses, which is my favorite color rose. I know a lot of people love the red roses and pink roses. I do too, but I think my favorite is yellow. Even with flowers like carnations, which my favorite flower of all flowers are yellow carnations, one of the least expensive flowers, but one of my favorites. They last a long time in a vase too. And this is Patrick rambling on, okay? This soap's going to be very rich, of course, in butters. I got shea here and cocoa butter that just, the room smells just fantastic. I'm sure any of you that have soaped or made lotions or creams using these butters are well aware of their wonderful benefits, but also the beautiful fragrance they offer. And one of the things too that I'm going to be doing with this soap is adding a bit more Rose Absolute. Now, why would I do that with something that's so expensive? Because I got a really good deal rebuying it or repurchasing it from the same people. And I will tell you, this formulation, this extraction, is a little bit different. I don't know if it comes from a different variety rose. It's still rose, but it is I get a grassy note that I didn't smell from the previous one that I got. So I let them know that, and they said that when the soap cures, that grassy note generally diminishes a bit. So I'm hoping so. It doesn't detract from the rose fragrance, by the way. It just gives it sort of a, what's the term I'm trying to think of? If you have ever smelled a rose that's just been cut, you will know what I'm talking about, because you get the smell of the cut stem along with the fragrance of the rose. Okay, anyway, I'm going on and on. And I suppose a lot of that's because it's been a really, really busy week at work, which I love. And a lot of that is why I'm so busy right now. It's unfortunately, we have some folks that their attendance isn't very good right now. And in the current way the world is running, with so many people being out of work, I would certainly think that people would be more prone to showing up on time and working their shifts, but that's not always the case, unfortunately. But life goes on, and it keeps me employed, right? But things are going really well for me. I mentioned the cow in another video. If I didn't clarify this before, I'll do it now. I raised little goats. I raised dwarf Nigerians, and pygmy goats. Sorry, long day already. Matter of fact, this is my break when I'm doing this voiceover. And one of my neighbors had a friend that drove by my farm one day and saw one of my goats and left a note stating he'd like to talk to me about the goat. That's very unusual around here for something like that to happen. So of course I called, because I thought maybe one had got out, or he saw something that he shouldn't have seen. Maybe one had I don't know. I didn't know what it was about. Well, when I called him, he said that this one goat, and quite by accident, by the way, was a show quality goat. that was shocking to me because I don't raise my goats for anything but working here on the farm. I do occasionally sell a baby. If I get too many boys, for instance, I will sell them. Anyway, or if somebody really wants a girl, sometimes I will sell them a girl. But this was a little bit different. He said that this one was show quality and he would like to buy it. And I said, well, actually, that one's not for sale. That's one of my favorite boys that I was going to be raising to be a stud. And he said, oh, don't do that. I would like to. Well, I was actually, I'll be honest, I was vacillating on whether or not to keep this one as a stud or to keep it separated, neuter it. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, he wanted it. And I generally don't like those kind of things where people approach me like that. But he said, if you'd like to trade, I have some cows. Oh. And initially it started out, it was going to be a pregnant cow that was pregnant with a baby, but then the wife decided she wanted to keep the mother, and I didn't want just a baby because then that means I'd have to bottle feed it. So that deal kind of fell through with that, but now there was another one, so I went and talked to them. And probably later in the year, we'll be doing the deal. But for now, it's on hold, but is in the near future. I'd also mentioned in previous videos that I wanted to get a donkey. That also will be happening in the fall. I've already got a deal done on that, so in the fall I will be getting one. I'm real excited about that. I really am. To be able to have my own donkey milk and not be dependent. I have a couple of gallons that I've got from others, but I really do want to have my very own, so I'm really excited about that. When I was making this soap, I say it like it's something odd and unusual. I was a messy pourer when I poured this soap. It was just, I think I am someone who needs something with a spigot on it. Like I can mix all my soap up in it and then just open a spigot and drip it down into each cavity if I'm doing a cavity soap, or if I'm pouring into a loaf mold, I don't have any trouble. But sometimes with cavity molds, I just make a mess. Things drip where they shouldn't drip, and I think I don't hold them. I'm trying to hold them where they show in the camera, but when that happens, I'm tilting them incorrectly and spilling it. I think that's what's happening. But while I was making these, the room was just filled with the most beautiful rose fragrance. It was really, really nice. I like Rose Absolute. I wish it wasn't so expensive. I would keep it on hand all the time, but I can't afford that. It can cost many hundreds of dollars just for an ounce or two, so you have to be judicious with it. It doesn't take a lot of it, thank goodness. And there are some rose fragrance oils out there that almost rival Rose Absolute, in my opinion, but I can't use the things like that. I can't use fragrance oils on my own skin, and because I do use every soap that I make, I will use. Unless it's a custom that I'm making for someone where it includes ingredients I wouldn't use. That may happen on occasion, but most of the soap that I make is used by me, so I don't put anything in it that I can't put on my skin. And since I can't use many fragrance oils on my skin without irritation, I don't use those. But I do like this fragrance very much, and it's not overpowering. The color I got was, with just the French yellow clay in the base, and then I added some turmeric, coloring, which I knew would fade a bit from previous use, and it faded just right and gave me that nice pale yellow, which I'm very pleased with. Would I've liked to have had a lemon yellow? Yes, but I'm very pleased with this sort of this powdery yellow, buttery blue, listen to me, yellow, and I was very happy with it. Now, I'm also going to be showing you the other part of the drawing, another item, because there are multiple items in the grand prize. The first was the bottle of lye, but I'm also going to be giving these goggles in the next video. I'll show you the next item. There are several items that are going to be given away, so I'm really excited to give them away to some happy winner, and I've got some smaller prizes for several others as well. But I want to thank you all. As always, it's always a pleasure having you here with me, and I appreciate you more than anything. If you haven't liked this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and click that bell if you want to know when the next video is available. I appreciate you. I hope that you have a really great day, and I look forward to seeing you back soon. Take care, and goodbye, everyone. I'll see you back soon.